Ojuani Iwori Ojuani Tanchela. Ifa says, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. You can't tie a horse with a light rope. It is not wise to continue working on things that won't bring success. Ojuani Iwori Tanchela is an Odu of recognizing imperfections in mankind. What does being imperfect mean when knowing we are all imperfect in some form or fashion? Ojuani Tanchela says that imperfections can be physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual, and they can stem from some form of trauma, from any stage of life. Birth defects and physical injuries can be easily noticed, along with their complexes that generate trauma. Being heartbroken, betrayed, abandoned, slandered, discriminated against, stigmatized, socially outcasted, and surrendering to alcoholism and substance abuse will physically, emotionally, and psychologically break down a person. Not believing in God, not knowing what to believe in, not having faith or hope in anything and refusing help is a spiritual trauma. Another spiritual trauma is having searched for God, religion, and sound religious workers, only to be disappointed to the point of becoming traumatized. In essence, imperfections are a result of trauma. Ifa says we need to start by acknowledging our character flaws, inhibitions, manners, and behavioral patterns before pointing out those of others. Then, work on them for ourselves before we tell others to work on theirs. Odu of putting your money where your mouth is and living by the same moral codes that you state others should live by. If not, keep it to yourself. Odu of doing the necessary ritual work to overcome trauma and imperfections. Ifa says to lean on spirituality because spiritual force is more potent than physical, emotional, and psychological strength. Odu of being spiritually weak due to traumas, and this has led to attracting dark forces that feed off of one's persona. Seek the support of a babalawo to perform paraldo, an exorcism ritual to remove these dark energies. There is a potential dark force that gets in the way of relationships, contributing to the person's solitude. Oracle of much-needed spiritual dedication and devotion for secured blessings. There are ancestors and spirit guides requiring attention via libation offerings, feeding, and masses. When strengthened, they will serve as the first line of defense and resolution of problems. Ifa recommends never getting involved in a witchcraft war, and to always resolve all battles through Ifa rituals. Ojuani Iwori Tanchela is an Odu of people desiring a business or being involved in business and wishing business to go well. Ifa recommends doing the necessary ritual work for successful business dealings. Ifa recommends obtaining support from knowledgeable business-oriented people who can lend much-needed guidance in investing, understanding what it takes to obtain financial freedom, and setting things up properly to secure success. This is an Odu of never allowing greed to be the stimulator behind success, because it will attract enemies. Odu of never stepping on people or taking advantage of the less fortunate to not be cursed by them. Do not let anyone involve you in anything illicit or do a favor that can compromise your freedom. Speaks of not getting involved in risky business that can potentially cause legal issues. Ojuani Tanchela is an oracle of legal troubles returning. It's where individuals become justice-prone, unlucky, or susceptible to being caught. This Odu favors those working in the legal and judicial system, not those who desire a career in criminality. Ojuani Tanchela is an Odu of being mindful of the people around you, and knowing that not everyone can be trusted. Ifa says to beware of nosy friends and neighbors. It's up to you if you desire people to know your business. This can also be extended to social media outlets. Beware of divulging your life secrets and looking for sympathy from others. Don't be surprised when some drama transpires. Don't let anyone fool you by appealing to your soft heart or treating you with kindness when you're in need of affection and sympathy, because there are predators just waiting for a victim to take advantage of. Speaks of being enslaved or feeling tied to a relationship or situations due to a lack of better judgment. Never allow anyone to cross the line or disrespect you. Speaks of having had a potentially happy childhood, and then going through some destructive family ordeal or trauma that has separated the person from the family. Odu of those having to be raised by extended family or foster care system. Speaks of being betrayed by friends and family. Speaks of people who don't like listening to advice and become defiant. Odu of having to move from where one lives if one has not done so already. Beware of someone having a substance abuse situation or alcoholism that can end up with an STD, not being careful when hanging out in the streets. Oracle, where one has to be aware of circulatory problems, heart disease, diabetes, and suffering injuries due to falls. Ifa recommends avoiding oil-based perfumes when noticing any allergies and not walking nude in the house. Orishas disapproved of this conduct,